Have you ever opened up a SQL script and just felt your brain immediately go into screensaver mode? You're staring at this wall of text and nothing makes sense? Well, it turns out that's not just you being lazy. There's a real, deep psychological reason our brains just can't stand messy code. So today, we're going to dive into why formatting your SQL isn't just some nice to have, it's absolutely critical for your own mind. All right, to kick things off, let's try a little test. This comes from Joe Selko's fantastic book, SQL Programming Style. Just take a quick look at the slide, read the phrase out loud or to yourself. Simple enough, right? So, how'd you do? Did you catch it? If you're like most people, you probably read it just fine and didn't notice a thing. Go on, take another look. There's something hiding in plain sight, and it's a perfect little trick that explains our entire problem with messy code. If you miss that repeated word, the, don't worry, you are in very good company. See, our brains are these incredible pattern-matching machines. When we read, we're not just scanning letter by letter. We're predicting, we're anticipating. We see a familiar phrase like Paris in the spring, and our brain just smooths over the error. It auto-corrects it. Now, that's an amazing feature for, surviving in the world, but it becomes a massive liability when you're looking at code, where one tiny mistake can bring the whole system down. Okay, so let's jump from that simple little phrase to the much more complex world of SQL. When a query is just a total jumble, you've got inconsistent capitalization, spacings all over the place, confusing names for things, our brain's pattern matching ability just completely short circuits. And this isn't just annoying. It costs real time, it costs real money, and it leads to so many preventable bugs. I mean, just imagine trying to debug a query where the same ID is called URN in one place, IPC URN in another, and offense URN somewhere else. Nothing lines up. There's no structure to guide your eye. Joe Selko has this perfect, unforgettable description for it. He says it feels like being in a crematorium gift shop. It's just fundamentally wrong. It's confusing, and you just want to get out of there as fast as you possibly can. So, what's the fix? How do we write SQL that our brains can actually read without getting a headache? Well, the good news is, this is a solved problem. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just turn to the time-tested principles laid out by a master of SQL programming style. And here he is. Joe Selko's book isn't about a bunch of arbitrary, nitpicky rules. It's all about how we, as humans, read and process information and how we can use that to our advantage. And one of his most brilliant ideas actually comes from a totally different field, typography. Selko introduces this idea of the river. Now, in a newspaper, a river is a bad thing. It's when the spaces between words accidentally line up and create these ugly vertical gaps of white space that distract you. But in code, we can turn that bug into a feature. We can intentionally create rivers by aligning our keywords. By lining up all the selects, the froms, the wheres, we create these powerful visual highways that guide your eye right down the page, making the structure of the query instantly obvious. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's see this in practice. We're going to take a chaotic, messy query, the crematorium gift shop kind, and apply these principles. Trust me, the difference is going to be night and day. And boom, here it is. Look at that. This is the exact same query doing the exact same thing, but it's a world apart. You can immediately see those rivers we were talking about with select, from, and where perfectly aligned. The join conditions under the where clause are all neatly stacked. You can scan this and understand the logic in seconds. This isn't just about making code look pretty. This is about making it understandable for the human brain. So you get it, the principles make sense, but let's be real. In a busy team, who has the time to manually format every single query perfectly every single time? It's just not practical. The real key to making this work is automation. It really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, you have to understand the why these principles matter for readability. Second, you and your team have to agree on a standard style. And third, and this is the most important part, you have to automate it. Use a tool that does the formatting for you, instantly and consistently. It ends all the arguments about style and ensures your code base is always easy to read. And that is exactly where tools like AI2SQL come into the picture. That incredible transformation you just saw from total chaos to perfect clarity, that's what it does in a single click. You just paste in your messy code, hit a button, and it applies all these proven principles for you. It's the perfect way to stop worrying about formatting and just focus on writing great queries. Why not give it a shot? Grab one of your own SQL queries, run it through a formatter, and see for yourself how much easier it is to work with when it's written for a human brain, not just a machine.